Good morning and welcome back to North Dakota Today. I'm sitting on the couch with our NFL expert, Adam Shalafu. Good morning, Adam.
Good
How
morning.
you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. It just blows my mind how quick the season seems to go every year. And this Super Bowl, just the more I've read up on it, you kind of do your homework naturally throughout the year.
Sure.
But then you put in that little kick to overdrive. This is going to be one for the ages.
This is going to be one for the ages. Are you kind of on track with America that we have winner's fatigue, like I mentioned in the first segment? Are you tired of seeing the Kansas City Chiefs play in the big game?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
For me, I think that a lot of people, it's easy to hate greatness.
For sure.
I respect greatness. I grew up during, I was alive for 5 of the Chicago Bulls championships.
Right.
And I grew up, in my grandpa's basement watching those games with my family, and it never got old watching Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Rodman on the second three-peat. So I think it's better. My advice for those people is appreciate greatness while it's still happening.
Right. Because
this is a chance for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to do something that's never been done before. The NFL is the hardest league in pro sports to win in. And for him to be able to have this opportunity,
for a third opportunity,
to lead that team again, it's incredible, and it should be taken with respect and seriousness. I know a lot of people are, like, even just talking about the refs, or there's a lot of different, like Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? There's a lot of
there's a lot of variables,
sideshows. But the big thing for me here is you have the chance to cement what you could make a case as the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL.
Chance to lift that third Lombardi.
Yeah.
Let's kind of go down the path of how did they get here? Like we just discussed how the Chiefs got here, but the Eagles on the other hand is they signed probably the greatest running back in football as of today. So let's talk about Saquon Barkley for a second.
Oh, my goodness. I was seeing the reports that he actually almost signed with the Chicago Bears, how different a world that could have been. But, so much credit goes to that offensive line. You saw how good he was throughout the early stages of his career. Couldn't quite stay healthy like he has this year when he was with the New York Giants. But
helps when you have the best offensive line in football, too, right?
That guy's legs are like tree trunks, man.
Right.
I mean, he's just got so much power. But when like you said, the best offensive line, we've been able to see him go to a level that probably the only person who knew was out there for him was Saquon Barkley.
Right.
He knew he was.
He knew how great he was.
And we're seeing like every ounce of the generational back that people saw at Penn State, and we're like, hey, this guy's going to be the next guy we're talking in the same sentence with as the greats.
Eric Dickerson, right? You could go down a long list.
The Barry Sanders, not necessarily the same style of play as those guys, but like you said, he is head and shoulders the best running back in football this year.
Absolutely. Let's talk, like we talked about some big storylines, but there are bigger storylines. Let's talk about the Swifties who are involved in this Super Bowl and Travis Kelce at that.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, he didn't have the greatest season, but he comes alive during the postseason.
Too bad. What's his brother's name? Jason.
Jason.
Too
yes.
Bad he didn't
Too bad he didn't get that matchup.
Just
right.
Barely missed that. But yeah, I believe he still led the Chiefs in receiving yards. I want to say it was like 835.
Sure.
So he had a respectful season. But you look at some of the years he's had where he's more around 1,600.
Right.
And it changes the standard because you've proven you can do it. But like the fact of the matter is, this guy has gotten a lot older.
He's a tight end,
he's a
wear and tear
end.
on the body.
Absolutely. I think that something that needs to be considered when talking about Travis Kelce or really anyone in that offense, especially right now, as you look at, most of the season they weren't healthy, but like you have Isaiah Pacheco, you have Xavier Worthy,
Kareem Hunt. It's a laundry list.
DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Brown is finally healthy after missing most of the seasons. So it's like, I think Kelce's probably still the security blanket and the guy that Mahomes is going to trust the most with the big play on the line, and for that reason, could be a good pick for Super Bowl MVP, right? But I think that he's just part of the machine.
Yes.
And the machine has these pieces that make every other piece more dangerous, because when you're worried about Travis Kelce across the middle, what's that going to do for Xavier Worthy if he escapes?
That go ball is going to be there.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot to talk about. So we will be right back after the break, and we'll continue our breakdown of Super Bowl 59.